hit that subscribe button, guys. When you're a fighter, you can't let certain things slide. Sometimes you use it as fuel, but at the same time, when you're hearing it constantly, you have to let it slide off your back. It's hard though. It's a balance, because even though I try to keep it professional and I don't want it to bite back, I've got that fight instinct. Sometimes you need to give as good as you get. I'd rather do it face to face. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I've always said. Even though Fury went through what he went through, I hoped for his return so he can fight soon. Wilder, we're looking at negotiations to see whether we can get that going. There's a lot of talk across the pond, but it will be good when we come face to face. So that is what IBO, IBF, WBA heavyweight champion of the world Anthony Joshua had to say. He says that sometimes he wants to bite back, because both Fury and Deontay Wilder have been constantly talking trash about him. I mean, especially Fury. I remember one of the first people that I saw talking trash about Joshua was Fury. Way back, you know, even before he was champion, I remember him calling him out. Joshua. Wilder, it started really after, Anthony Joshua won his IBF strap against Charles Martin. He says he wants to come face to face with these guys. Me personally, I think that's a great idea, because going face to face with these guys will create more hype, more excitement. That's why I really wanted Deontay Wilder to go to when Joseph Parker fought AJ. I wanted Wilder to go to Cardiff, because I wanted him to, even if he wasn't allowed to go in the ring, I wanted him to be there, because his presence being there, they would have been aiming the cameras towards him. Maybe he could have gotten up, done what David Haye and Tony Bellew did. That would have created a lot of interest. That would have helped out them both, and it would have helped out Wilder a lot, and it would have made more boxing fans want to see it. So, and to me, face-offs are always things that get you hyped up, right? When Vladimir Klitschko first faced off Anthony Joshua, it hyped me up. When Tyson Fury first faced off Vladimir Klitschko, that hyped me up. When Tyson Fury went in the ring with Deontay Wilder, that hyped me up. So having Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua face to face, that will hype me up. That creates spark. That it's gonna hype all of us up. Because if I know I'm not the only one who gets hyped up for stuff like that. So yeah, unfortunately right now it seems that Wilder's team doesn't want to get to take the 2.5 million, which means that fight's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to see Wilder versus Dominic Breazeale, unless he elects to fight Dillian White, and you're probably going to see, as I reported earlier, Eddie Hearn said he's going to put, if Wilder rejects this offer, he's going to put his fighter versus Povetkin. So that's probably what we're going to see next. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that fight, but I personally would rather see Wilder versus Povetkin versus AJ, because I think Povetkin is past his prime, and I think that's an easier fight. It might be a controversial statement, but I think to some people, Povetkin's an easier fight for AJ, because Povetkin is more shot. He's a shorter fighter. He's going to be coming forward, and he's going to be literally walking into uppercuts by AJ. Him being the shorter guy, AJ will probably knock him out with an uppercut as he comes in. With Wilder, though, Wilder's much faster. He's much taller. He's the same height as AJ. And I think he's much faster on his footwork than someone like Povetkin. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Again, hopefully AJ, because everybody wants Wilder to go over, and face off AJ. So hopefully AJ, he instead, because he wants to do a face off, right? Hopefully, if Wilder fights like Dominic Breazeale next, AJ should go to that fight, and he should be in the stadium. If you guys remember when Deontay Wilder was fighting Arthur Spilka, at the time they were negotiating to Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Povetkin, and look at what Alexander Povetkin did. Alexander Povetkin went to that fight. If you remember, Alexander Povetkin was in the stadium, and they were pointing the cameras at his face. and they didn't do a face-off, but he was there, and because his presence was there, they were showing the camera to his face, because they were saying that was, remember, everybody wanted that fight to be next. He was the mandatory that was supposed to, but of course he ended up failing another drug test, so it never happened. He ended up failing the drug test, so it didn't happen, but he went there. So I think AJ, if Wilder doesn't want to go to him, he should go to Wilder, be in the stadium and just be there, so they point the cameras at him, and that creates more interest, more spark. Tyson Fury did it. Tyson Fury went to the Arthur's Book fight as well. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching and subscribe. I'm out.